Hey everyone, Hailey here. Welcome back to my channel, coming at you today with a community college centered video. Today's video is going to be all about extracurricular activities as they relate to community college and the whole experience of going to community college, so stay tuned if you're curious about that. Now to get into what we're here for, a lot of people come to me and ask, if I do X amount of extracurriculars, or if I do this certain extracurricular in community college, is that going to get me into whatever college or university? Usually they're asking about UCLA. So this is a common question, as I said. I also feel like this plays into a common misconception about university admissions, which is that if you do it all, and if you are some stellar, excellent person with a perfect application, then you're a shoo-in for getting accepted into a school. And that's not necessarily true, but let's focus on the first part of this question, which is extracurricular activities. If you're considering doing extracurricular activities while you're in community college, the benefits that you want to keep in mind as you're doing this are that, number one, yes, it looks good on your application. Now, why is that? It's not just about doing a lot of things, it's about showing that you're not a one-dimensional person. Because if you go to school and you do great in school, but you only do great in school, well, that's not really telling the admissions committee much about yourself. Yes, you're a good student, but they also want to know what else you can contribute to the campus outside of the classroom. And this is showing exactly what your applications of your classroom knowledge, of your past life experiences are outside of academia. On another application related note, it is really beneficial to do extracurricular activities because it often serves as a great source of inspiration for your college essays. Particularly for the UC system, this is going to help you write your personal insight questions. Moving away from the whole application benefit, another benefit of doing extracurriculars is that it's an opportunity to meet people. And this is going to give you opportunities to meet different classes of people. So what do I mean by this? Number one, this is going to give you an opportunity to meet other students. A lot of people who are new to the whole community college life come to me and ask, hey, is it hard to make friends in community college? And I totally get why you'd be concerned about that because everyone just wants to fit in. Well, I don't think it's hard to make friends in community college, but at the same time, you can't expect people to come to you. You have to initiate as well. So one great way to do that is extracurriculars, because you're going to put yourself in a position where you're exposed to a lot of people. They're not limited to just the classes you're taking. They're not limited to whatever, level of English or math or whatever that you're taking. These are people all across your community college doing a wide variety of majors. So the good thing is it brings you together based on a shared common interest, which is always a plus when it comes to forming strong bonds with other people. In addition to meeting classmates and potential friends, you also get a chance to meet professionals and other professors at your school, and networking is a huge thing, guys. I don't want you to underestimate the power of networking. When it comes to your professors, these are really going to be such an invaluable resource for you because these are the people who are directly educating you and guiding you on your academic journey, on your professional journey, whatever you want to call it. As I said, they may be able to help you later on in your academic journey with maybe a recommendation of some sort, if it's for a college application, if it's for some sort of internship, or if it's for some sort of scholarship. They can always write recommendations. So you want to form these relationships early so that when you do find yourself needing these sort of recommendations, you have people sort of in your back pocket and you don't feel like you're asking for someone outside of your comfort zone, for example, if they don't really know you that well. So it's just good to get to know your professors, and this is one way to do it. And lastly, on this networking note, it's also a good opportunity to get to know people outside of your college who are in your field, because a lot of times with these extracurricular clubs, depending on the nature of the club, they will bring experts in the field in to talk to the students in the club or at the event, whatever they're having, which is great. At UCLA, at least, as I said, I didn't do extracurriculars in community college, but there were always guest speakers in the clubs that I was in, and it was super helpful and super informative and a great way to meet professionals, as I said. So here's how you can optimize extracurricular opportunities at the community college level and also, beyond in your college experience. Number one, focus on quality over quantity. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this video, don't just sign up for every single club and call it a day. I knew people in high school who would literally sign up for clubs just so that they could have their name on the club roster and then never go to meetings. Or I knew people also who would show up on picture day when they were taking the pictures of the clubs so it looked like they were involved in all these things, when in reality they had no clue what was going on in that club. That is exactly what you don't want to do. I would, if you are considering doing extracurriculars, stress, guys, maybe pick 2, maybe 3. 3 is a lot, because remember, you're still going to school while you're doing this. And really focus on those. Choose things that interest you, right? So you don't want to just, if you are interested in English, don't just sign up for a computer science club because, you know, you're like, oh, this will make me look good. If you have zero interest in it, it's really not going to benefit you, and you're not going to benefit the club. It's okay to do things outside of your major. In fact, I would encourage you to try things out outside of your major, because just because you're not studying it in the classroom doesn't mean that you can't pursue it outside of the classroom. The most important point with extracurriculars is don't let it interfere with school. At the end of the day, you are there to earn an education, to earn a degree, and to really become a master in your field. And you can't do that, for example, if you sign up for a club and let's just say you become the president of the club and you're spending all your time organizing events for this club, and you barely have time to study, you barely have time to do your assignments. At that point, you kind of have to ask yourself, is this really worth it? Now, for anyone who's watching this video and it's kind of helped you make up your mind, maybe that you don't want to do extracurriculars or you don't particularly have the time to do extracurriculars, that's totally fine. As I mentioned several times, I did not do extracurriculars in community college, and I got into UCLA, okay? I got into Berkeley, I got into all the schools I applied to. I wasn't like blacklisted from these schools because, oh my God, she didn't do extracurriculars. But what you need to do in place of extracurriculars is something else. What could it be? It could be anything, but as I said, the benefit of extracurriculars are that they make you look very worldly in a way. They make you look multidimensional, that you're beneficial inside the classroom, outside of the classroom, and all these different facets of your life. So you need to convey that by doing something else. What I personally did while I was in community college was I worked pretty much full time when I was in community college. So even though I wasn't doing extracurriculars, I had a job, I had leadership positions within that job. I got a lot of amazing life experience. That is partially what I wrote about. I devoted one of my personal insight questions to my experience at that job. If you can't do a job, that's fine. I would encourage you then maybe to consider volunteering. Volunteering is also a really great opportunity. I mean, you can meet a lot of people volunteering, and you can discover some really interesting things that you may have never considered volunteering. If you don't know where to start, I mean, you can just Google volunteer opportunities in your area. Definitely, I'm sure at your community college there will be volunteer opportunities. Just take a look at your colleges, like either online, or maybe there's like a post board in the student center. There's always opportunities. By word of mouth, I'm sure you can find opportunities. So take a look, it's out there. I want to circle back to this point that I mentioned in the beginning, which is that extracurriculars are not the key to getting into a school. There is no one cookie cutter way that will guarantee that you'll get into a school. Okay, that's really what I'm trying to convey here. Yes, they will always help you. They will never hurt you as long as you kind of take them seriously. That being said, just because you do extracurriculars, just because you're president of a certain club, that doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get into a school. There's a lot that goes into it, especially with the UC application. It is a holistic application. So they're looking at every single area of the application. Every single area has equal weight. And I think a lot of it really does come down to the personal insight questions, because this is the one chance that you get to sort of sell yourself to them in your own words. Otherwise, you're just your list of extracurriculars, or you're just your GPA. So as I said, it's good to have extracurriculars. Of course, it's good to do well academically, but just remember that at the end of the day, you are a person. That is what matters, and you are the sum of your experiences. You are not just the number of extracurriculars you participated in. You are not just the president of a club. So that's really what it matters when it comes to this. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. If this video benefited you in any way, please give it a like, and please feel free to share it with anyone else who you think would benefit from the content. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I am constantly posting videos about community college, transferring UCLA, which is where I went to school, and I would be happy to have you join as a subscriber on the channel. We're always having a lot of fun and it's a pretty supportive community in my opinion. So please, I'm hoping you'll subscribe. If not, that's totally fine as well. If you are one of my subscribers, thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.